All right, Ben Williamson here from InvestorHub, here with David Foster from Pharmaceuticals. David, welcome.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Are you enjoying the conference?
It's been a fantastic conference. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of excitement. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's got a really good vibe about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Give people a bit of an overview of Island. So what's the elevator pitch?
Yeah, thank you for the chance to say that. So the elevator pitch about Island Pharmaceuticals is we are an antiviral drug development company. We've got a lead asset called ISLA 101 that we're developing for dengue infections. So one of the things that people may or may not be aware, depending on where you are geographically, dengue is a huge unmet medical need. There's about 400 million dengue infections a year. About 100 million of those require some form of intervention, and there's no intervention. There's no antivirals that are effective against the dengue virus. Vaccines have been problematic. There's very few vaccines, so there's really nothing you can do except treat the symptoms. We've got a molecule, ISLA 101, that is actually initially developed by J&J as a cancer therapy. And as a result of that, it's been in thousands of people. It's been in 40 plus clinical trials, has a very well-known safety profile, but it's never been approved for anything. So we are currently in a phase 2 clinical trial right now in dengue-infected individuals, and we're expecting data in the next couple of months to demonstrate, whether or not it's efficacious, whether there's activity, anti-dengue activity.
It's fantastic. My co-founder has had dengue fever twice now.
So he doesn't want to get it again.
He doesn't essentially go anywhere that there is any form of dengue.
So think about that, right? If we're effective in our clinical trials, because what we're testing is the ability of ISLA 101 to be either a preventative, potentially, or a therapeutic, a treatment, right? But to your co-founder, right, if you're traveling to a region that's endemic for dengue, you take these before you go, potentially, right, if it works the way we hope. Or if he's sick, you take it and you have an easier course, right? So we think there's a huge opportunity, both either as a prophylactic or as a treatment. We think there's a great opportunity.
So with all that, what are investors getting excited about? What are they interested in the story?
Yeah, so two things. One, that we have imminent phase 2 data. Right, we're going to have phase 2 data within the next couple of months to see if ISLA 101 works against the dengue virus. That's one thing people are very excited about. The other thing that you and I haven't yet spoken about is we have been exploring a variety of pipeline expansion opportunities, looking for molecules to expand our pipeline. Okay. We found a really exciting molecule with a company based in the United States called BioCryst. For strategic reasons, they have moved away from developing this, but it's a broad-acting, orally available antiviral or an IV antiviral that has activity against like 20 different viruses, including Ebola, including Marburg, and importantly, the molecule has been supported by like $70 to $90 million from the U.S. government money. So it's a bioterror countermeasure play. That's the angle that they're going with. We have an option. We have a binding letter of intent for an option to acquire that molecule. People are really excited about it because it's a great molecule. It de-risks the company. It gives us 2 pipeline opportunities. So between ISLA 101 and this other molecule, it's a really exciting time for us.
That is really interesting. From a market point of view, from a molecule market point of view, probably, like, how are you finding the market? Like, where in the cycle do you think we are?
So I think it's beginning to improve. I think we've had some headwinds in biotech, to say the least. I think we're starting to see, we're seeing some movement, we're seeing some progress, we're seeing some deals get done. We're seeing some progress, at least we're making clinical progress, notwithstanding, the challenge that the market has seen. We've held up relatively well, even over the last little bit. And I think a lot of that's because people are recognizing we have really exciting data coming up. So I think it's beginning to thaw, but I don't think we're there yet.
And I guess given that proximity to the market, especially compared to a at-home, everyday investor, right? Someone putting 20, 30, 40 grand in. What are you seeing that they might not be able to pick up on, right? What are you seeing in the market that might not be as obvious to them? Is it the deals?
So I think the deals are there and the deals are happening, right? And And we're beginning to hear about them more frequently. I think that's good. I think the IPO market is not there yet.
Yeah.
I think that's still really slow, but I think we're starting to see more deals getting done, and that's helpful.
Great. You're obviously here pitching the story
Yeah.
and talking to investors directly. What's the it's only been about a morning's worth so far.
Correct.
What's the response been like?
Yeah, so the response is a lot of excitement.
Right.
We're sitting here in Southeast Asia, right? People understand dengue. They understand the problem. I'm not at home. I'm from Texas. I'm not at home in Texas where I have to do some education there about the problem with dengue. People understand that, and they understand there's not a solution. And so people here are very excited about the potential solution that we're developing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And I guess getting excited is one thing, understanding it is another. Taking action is the third bit. So why should someone invest in the business now rather than sit back and wait and watch?
It's because we have some incredibly exciting, imminent, substantial milestones. We've got updates on our acquisition program likely coming out. We're working on that. I think that's going to be something that people are very excited to see. But the real kicker for us is getting the phase 2 data results, right? We have completed that study with respect to the patients giving the drug. Nobody's taking drug anymore. All we're doing is analyzing data. Once we finish analyzing the data, we're going to be able to announce this. And an important thing to note is the study that we ran was divided into 2 parts.
Okay.
We had a prevention arm and we have a treatment arm, okay? If the prevention arm was successful, only then could we move to the treatment arm. And the prevention arm was successful, right? We've already seen evidence of antiviral activity in a prevention or a prophylactic setting. So we're excited about what we think is some exciting data around the corner.
Awesome. Yeah. And if people are interested in getting in touch, what's the best way that they can do that?
They should email me. I'm at dfoster. I'm David Foster, so dfoster@islandpharmaceuticals.com.
Perfect. Thanks very much.